Backs ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's the Raiders going up against the Broncos. So let's get you out to Denver for the call of our game. Here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Larry, we are at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, as you get a look at Sports Authority Field at Mile High. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Oakland Raiders and the Denver Broncos. They come out here in the eye. Now a carry. It's C.J. Anderson. They juked him. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run. Probing now early to try and get things done later.
On 2nd down, Anderson. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's something.
Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Now after the INT, it's Carr. And they can't get the long connection as it falls incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And Mr. Cooper, Amari, a headliner in this offensive unit.
Brandon, it's rare that you get guys so polished coming out of college. But Amari Cooper has carried himself like a pro probably since he was 6 years old. He is a terrific talent.
And here's a look at the defense for Denver.
Brandon Marshall, no, not the wide receiver, a quality linebacker who can cover very well. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. Throwing now is Carr. Trying for his tight end Rivera, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. They start the drive with Anderson. And a cutback, right sideline. C.J. Anderson past the 20. And all the way home for a Broncos score. C.J. Anderson, 75 yards. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They go with Murray again. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Murray had the 1,000-yard season in 2015, followed that up with 788 last year. Now, also in the mix in Oakland, you had Washington, you had Richard. How do you see this backfield playing out going forward?
I think you'll see a similar combination going forward. I think that's one of the reasons that he dropped from a 1,000-yard runner to 788, because they had other options. They're able to bring in Washington, Richard. They can use different plays for those guys, a lot of versatility, and really upgrade their offense with an infusion of speed. But Latavius Murray, I think he'll still continue to be the lead guy out of that trio.
To throw his car, and that's complete to Walford. Give him 9 on the play, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on, or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Carr. Throw left side to the tight end Walford. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Shane Ray in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. On 2nd down, here's Carr. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. Latavius Murray. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray, 51 yards. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who is a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he reconsidered here. It'll cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description, because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete.
Well, the bad news, the Denver Broncos didn't make the playoffs. But the good news for Demaryius Thomas, he was over 1,000 yards again as a receiver.
6th straight year he's done that. But yards per catch and touchdowns down a little bit. Any of that due to the change at quarterback?
Think about it. For him now, in the last 2 seasons, he's had to get used to 4 different quarterbacks throwing him the football. I think that yards per catch will go back up when he gets some consistency.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. C.J. Anderson with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Broncos have taken the lead. Now McManus to tack on the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard, because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series. That'll take care of the scoreboard if they punch it into the end zone.
Caught left side to Crabtree. And for that man, Crabtree just finished his 8th NFL season. Of course, the first 6 in San Fran, last 2 with the Raiders. Barely topped the 1,000-yard mark, but he did 1,003 this season.
It's been interesting to watch the career arc of Michael Crabtree, because you remember when he came out of college, came out of Texas Tech, he was seen as a pure number 1 receiver.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that is incomplete. He was trying to get it to Michael Crabtree there. And that brings up 4th down. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. And he's going to cut it back left here. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. 14 yards there on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. On 1st and 10, here's Carr. Caught the tight end Walford. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. And the Raiders are going to get a new set of downs.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Carr now on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And that is, I think he caught it. He did, but they'll say out of bounds. It'll be incomplete. Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And he missed it. No good. And they'll remain down by a point. Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
That confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A good pickup there at 22.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. 1st down. Here's the run with Anderson. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him. So not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Tackle made by Perry Riley.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
And this one complete to Virgil Green. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
And his kick is no good. Misses the PAT, a mistake there, and this remains a 7-point game. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Von Miller coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. So with that, we come upon the 2-minute warning here on the NFL on EA Sports. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. He's got the hook up to Andre Holmes. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they're going to go soft on the corners. Carr to throw on 3rd and 1. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and now it's 4th down.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
And how about this one now? In their own territory, a gutsy call. They're going to go for this on 4th and a yard. They'll try and run with Murray. They find some open field here. Latavius Murray, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Latavius Murray on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Carr will look to throw. And that is caught for the 2 points. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
The first throw for the backup Lynch. He's going to take another shot here. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there on third down for the Broncos. 57 yards. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. Offense looking to avoid a third and long. It's 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
They come up with an offset eye. They give it to Anderson. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for third down.
Green, 39.
Now it's Simeon. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Demaryius Thomas, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have retaken the lead. So they're going to go for 2. Lynch going to try and throw for it. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky. There it worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. So out come the Raiders. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr, eluding the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win?
Now the Broncos are going to take a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Wonder what's in the offensive playbook on 3rd and 13. We're about to find out. Carr now to throw. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And able to get it here to about... And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. So as they take it over, we step aside. So on 4th down, here's Marquette King to punt it away. Emmanuel Sanders deep for the Broncos. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And he couldn't get it to check up. That came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. All right, different topic here. 2018, the Super Bowl, traveling north, far north to Minneapolis. Early predictions for that one. Who you got?
Well, you know, everyone's still waiting in the NFL for a home team to play in its home stadium, right? So could the Vikings be that team? I'll start in the NFC, and I'm going to say no. I think Seattle. Starting to get near that maybe last run with their defense. Earl Thomas returns. I like Seattle coming out of the NFC. How about you?
Well, I'm actually going to take a Dallas Cowboys NFC title run. I think that they came so close this year, probably most talented going into next year.
I like that one. Well, in the AFC, I'm going to go with a team that if they improve their defense and their quarterback stays healthy, they could be that team, the Oakland Raiders.
Okay, I'm going dark horse. Cleveland Browns. Let's go.
Hey, from worst to first.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Von Miller in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Carr to throw on second down. To the left side and complete for Amari Cooper. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. And there, the man coverage not good enough, partner, and they're able to complete the pass.
Excellent recognition of the man coverage, and they found the guy who could win downfield.
Throwing his Carr on third down. Flush to his right. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. It goes for a gain of 10, and it's a first down.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. That they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good.
He's got his man on the crossing route. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Carr going to throw. Buying time to his left. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And the offense readies for play number 10 of this series. On second down, here's Carr. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it third down. Oh, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense.
And on 3rd and 3, they decided to go with a dime package. 6 DBs.
Yeah, you're right. They've got 6 out there. And he dropped it. Now it was tipped. Altered the ball a little bit, but he dropped it. And now 4th down. Now, they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on third down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
They're going to run it with Murray. And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him, as we've seen. Would you say 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Oh, he shifts past him. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. 3rd down now. It's C.J. Anderson. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Welcome back now to Denver. So the offense has it 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And Green with a catch left side. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 19 yards there. And it'll be 1st down Denver. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll try and wind down some clock here with Anderson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run it. Here's Anderson. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Green.
They run again on 1st down. Anderson. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. Just 2 yards to go here on 2nd down for the offense. Now the defense definitely showing blitz here. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Another tote here for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Anderson. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
Carry number 20 coming up for Anderson. And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Now Anderson. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
But we always talk about good down and distance, allowing offenses to expand their playbook. Well, 2nd and 2, that means your playbook's wide open. You can run just about anything. But a lot of times, the play caller, he just looks down at his sheet, sees the short yardage runs, and goes to one of those.
And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. On 2nd down, Forsett. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Big boys down there in the trenches, and a nice play to stop them cold. Nothing there.
Yeah, when you talk about big boys, you're talking about those defensive tackles, those nose tackles. They're not just big, they're immense. And what a big-time play there.
On 3rd down, Lynch. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Justin Forsett that time. And it's 4th down. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They'll try and throw for it with Lynch. And no, it's incomplete. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch it in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, we gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. Michael Crabtree's going to go. The 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Michael Crabtree, 92 yards. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
And touchdown, and congratulations, and 0 relaxation ahead of them, right? Way too much time on the clock for them to start celebrating.
Yeah, part 1 is done, but now on the sideline, you can already see them scrambling down there. They're getting those defensive guys ready.
Yes, you have to get those guys ready, and you also have to talk to your special teams guys. Make sure the kickoff is exactly what you want and cover it well.
Now Janikowski following the score. He'll boot this one away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. And now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. He's back to throw. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Handoff comes to Anderson, and he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves. Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1.
They were stopped on that play. We've had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
And he's certainly not a guy that drops that football very often.
Indeed, because that's a bit of a surprise. I know he's in the middle of some traffic and people, bodies all around him, but he usually has the focus to haul that one in.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They come up in an offset eye. They'll run for it. Anderson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. They'll run Anderson, and they'll get him down just shy of the goal line at about the 1. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. And this seemingly endless drive continues. They'll run for it with Anderson. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Tie game, and barring something incredible here, we're likely headed to overtime.
And just a couple of scenarios here to keep in mind. One, if you want to be really aggressive, you do throw the Hail Mary and see if you can get something downfield.
What would you do?
What I would do is either hand it off inside or more likely to take a knee and let the clock run out. Because if I'm back there trying to throw and a sack happens, the ball...
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick 6 or fumbles the ball and gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, except for their first drive here in overtime. And this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants...
Murray fighting, lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. First throw of overtime for Carr. Completes it right side to Cooper. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
And that's when it's fun to play defense. When you're able to diagnose a play right from the beginning, get all your guys to the football, and spill the play, that's when you have a lot of fun playing on that side of the ball.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Oh, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to him, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense, and the offense finished things off.
Part 1 is done, now part 2. They run it again with Anderson. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be third down. And they're going to speed things up here. Simeon on third down. Oh, and it's intercepted. Oh, he's got some breathing room. The 40, the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. Still catching our breaths from that electric finish. You get into overtime, that's one thing. It was a great 4 quarters. But then in OT, not only to win it, but to win it on a defensive score. Wow.
Oh, definitely. And I think from now on, we're going to definitely travel someone who can help us, because I thought I was going to pass out at the end. Not just getting to the overtime, but the plays in overtime that led to this one, and to finish it on a defensive touchdown, a takeaway that gets into the end zone. I'm not rooting for anyone, but boy, I'd love to see games finish that way.
So that'll do it. For my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry, I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is